Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll be with you shortly. I'm trying to add my friend real quick. All right. So while they're getting signed in, here is the single for today's topic. So, what's up, everybody? I want to say welcome. This is our episode 2, and it's called "Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places." And this is our part 1 series of what we're going to do. Let me know. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Connect my headset. Give me 1 second.
No, is that worse? Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, well, um, just want to say again, welcome. This is our episode 2. So y'all let me vent. We're talking about looking for love in all the wrong places. Just want to give a special shout out to ΔΦΔ Dance Fraternity Incorporated. Also give a shout out to DJ Kels. DJ Kels, she's teaching me the way of podcast, um, and that culture. I also want to thank Danny and Keith for coming. Danny is the CEO of Urban by Danny. Here we go. Had it with my work. My work camera on. But yeah, Danny is the CEO of Urban by Danny, and Keith is the president of Alpha Mu chapter. I also want to give a shout out to the spring candidates, also the Aerosaltants of art. They've really been showing up and showing out. We have a lot of events coming up. Um, and the entitlement is Looking for Love All Around Places, which is for the hit single Looking for Love by Ronnie Suavé, which is me, of course. So we have some upcoming events coming up. We just want to let you know so you can be a part. We have a bake sale this Sunday. Um, we're going to be just going to different places. We're going to Uptown, we're going to Noda, um, we're going to University, Boardwalk. So we're going to just go to a different couple places, just to show our faces to different sides of Charlotte, um, and just give back. This bake sale is for the retirement wellness, so that's where our proceeds will go to. The Easter egg hunt that we have is for April 17th. That'll be at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. You'll see a flyer. It's at the Belt Tonawanda Park in Monroe, North Carolina. And we'll be partnering up with the Power Center and their youth department. On June 10th, we will have a showcase slash probate. You'll see a flyer shortly. June 10th to the 13th, we have our Southern Mini Conference. Um, for some of us, this will be our first one. So, you know, this will be an experience together. And I will be, glad to share this experience with Danny and Keith as well. So let's jump right in, shall we? So, our hot topics, we're going to talk about some current news. All right. So, of course, everything that's been going around, especially with this Will and Jada situation, from Jada response and Chris Rock's response and Will's response. How do y'all feel about that?
As far as what you mean,
So, I mean, we are going to talk about the slap, but as far as the responses of everybody, how do you feel about the?
I mean, it's really quite accurate. I feel like that, as far as, I mean, everybody really been talking about the whole slap. So, as far as a response to that, I feel like, I feel the same way. I feel like it shouldn't have been done. I feel like that I get it. I get it. He want to protect his woman. All right. But I feel like it's a place and time for everything. Professionally wise, I feel like he really fucked up. Uh he can't go to the Oscars for 10 years now. I think he's been suspended for 10 years. Netflix has two of his movies that have probably been released, but they're actually holding it now.
Yeah,
Um I feel like that, the Oscars is a predominant white uh award show that many black people really don't get their shine to do. And then plus he supposed to been got an award. He got an award that year for his new movie, but also fucked that up, So and then with that, a predominant white show, you'll sit there and smack another black person, which is say, oh, black people always like this, da 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 da. I think it was just stupid all the way around.
That is one of the first things I thought. I was like, dang, like black people don't. You just let them know like black people don't know how
We
to
just
act in a white environment.
or we're thugs or we go to violence.
Yeah. Um. I mean, I feel as though. I mean, you know me, so I'm the protector. I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect my wife in public or in private. So, as you did state, though, there is a way to handle things. They don't call me Suavé for nothing. So, you gotta be smooth with it. You can't just be no criminal. My favorite saying: criminals are the ones who get caught. So he could have retaliated, but in a different way. At this point, like you have an image to protect. Like everything we look at is only, you know what I'm saying? You got to show perfection. You can't really show any type of slack if you know what I'm saying, especially in that limelight. Um, and like you were saying, Dan, I just feel like it should have been you should have known this was a professional setting. You don't act out of line or out of character in a professional setting,
Right.
especially with a title of that nature. Like even if you're the CEO, you can't go around smacking. Well, you are a CEO, but you can't go to another business meeting with another CEO and just start smacking people just because they disrespected. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just feel like it was. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. What you think, Keith?
I mean, I agree with Danny. The main thing that it comes down to is, you know, when you have kids, I feel like, for instance, this newer generation, not saying that they're disrespectful, but this newer generation, um, they they kind of get out of hand when it comes to their mouth. They get out of hand when it comes to their actions. They think that their opinion. They think that they're supposed to, speak every opinion that comes to their mind, and that's not the case. So when this new generation sees these things that's going on, like within the Grammys or award shows and stuff like that, when they see this type of stuff, they're gonna think it's okay to do it at any setting. So when they see that, it's kind of like we're giving the younger generation a reason to act out. We're giving them a reason to be disrespectful. We're giving them a reason to say, okay, this is okay to do, and which is not.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I agree with both of y'all. And to our next, well, we have like a three-part, so I guess we all can take each one of them. And of course, these one of my favorite artists, but I just want to spotlight because they're underdogs, and I'm an underdog, so I love to talk about other underdogs. First, my favorite rapper in the world, Remy Ma, she did an interview with Drink Champs, and she discussed the rap beef with her and Nicki. Um, it just premiered like 2 weeks. It got like already 1.2 million views. Um, she talked about a lot of stuff, how when her and Pun started. Um, so I guess how do you feel? And then I guess why I really wanted to talk, everybody was talking about her because she looks so natural. Like she didn't get any work done, and she's so beautiful. But when you try to compare an artist like Nicki or Cardi B, who has got work done, who doesn't write their own lyrics, it's like I feel like they didn't brand her the correct way. You know what I'm saying? So now she has a bad outlook, but when you look at her, she's all natural and she's beautiful with no makeup. And if you look at all um her composers, it's only her. It's rarely that you'll see another artist unless it's Papoose. But when you look at Nicki, it's the opposite. You look at Cardi B, it's the opposite. Megan Thee Stallion, it's the opposite. So how do you feel like, which is kind of leading us into our topic? It's like the real versus the fake. It's like the Queen Latifahs versus the new age Lil Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
I feel that it's not that they wanted. I don't feel like they wanted to. Okay, so I don't feel like that they originally came in the game and they wanted to get work done. They wanted to get a big ad. They wanted to do this. They wanted to do that. I feel like that society put that on them. We look at Little Kim. We look at Little Kim from back in the day. We look at Little Kim now. is if you're not light skinned in the industry world, I feel like if you're not light skinned, that it's gonna be hard for you to make it because that light skin image is that look. We look at you just got in this. It's been that way for years, for years, for years. This has happened in the rap world, or happened in the R&B world. It goes back down. We look at Donna Ross and Supremes. They promoted Donna Ross because of her color. We look at go ahead and look at Destiny Child. They promote Beyonce. It's more light skin. Rihanna, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to be light skinned. So it's not as if they promoted her. The industry did that. I feel like
So I guess because I want you to touch on this too, I feel like our women or our new age girls are getting misled because it's like you said, the industry they're being peer pressured into being something that they're not. Like you look at Lil Kim back in the day, she didn't have any of that. Now, she looks like somebody else. Same thing with Lil Kim. Um, do you feel like our women should take after more females like Remy Ma, who said they're not getting plastic surgery, they're only going natural, they're gonna try to work out, they're gonna try to get their body right the natural way, versus, or do you feel like women should
I
get liposuction and BBLs and
I
etc.?
I don't tell what women should do with their body. However, I feel like if you're gonna do it for you and not for nobody else.
Right.
Now, if you do it to try to be number one on top, or try to do this, try to do that, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Now, if you're
Yeah.
doing it because you literally want to do it, then that's a different story. But you're doing it because the industry tell you gotta get a bigger ass. I feel like mm-mm.
Okay. What about you, Keith? Oh,
Uh,
well, I asked you this one. So, Papoose is another artist that's like, I think he can literally stick with anybody lyrically. And I feel like our men is not being looked at. They're looking at, NBA Youngboy. They're looking at Lil Durk. They're looking at, what I'm saying, different people, but they're not looking at the people who has a family and who's promoting black love and treat your wife like this. What I'm saying, don't be aggressive with your wife. Open the door for your wife. Raise up your family. Black love. Like Papoose has been doing that, and he's been on the come up. He's got a 1.5 million deal. Um, he's still been Remy Ma. They never cheated. You don't see they breakups. They just like the real version of Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? The hood version, I guess, if you want to say. How you feel like our men, Keith, like, do you think it's the same question about Remy Ma versus Nicki, and not in musically, but more so as the image, because I feel like he's an underdog, but I feel like we should take more after him. We need to stand up for our family and stand up, and be men rather than being street boys and rob and talking our songs about talking about robbing and stealing from the next person and the next come up. Like, how do you feel?
well, see, when it's coming from a topic of where, not trying to be street boys, it comes from, it really comes from social media dragging it and making it seem like, okay, if you're this type of person, you're going to get all these girls XYZ. If you're this type of person, you're going to get XYZ and money. So, if you're lame, if you do this certain stuff, you're not going to be you're not going to get this money, you're not going to get this, you're not going to get that. And when it comes to the influence of men, um, I really hate to say it, but a lot of, and I guess that goes with women too. A lot of people, when it comes to certain things, don't have a backbone when it comes
Yeah.
down to being their self.
Mm-hmm.
They rely on social media. They rely on trends. They rely on um different other things to create themselves, rather than just being themselves, or rather than taking interest in something that they would like to do. For instance, when it comes to music, for instance, all the little Dirks and the um whatever these new artists is that these kids listen today. Um a lot of these new artists, when you hear them rapping, they're not really rapping about anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they rapping, but it's not making sense to the real world. As far as like back in the '90s, or back in the early 2000s, when rap really meant something, you can connect to the words of what these rappers were saying. Now, back in the days, it's just like yeah, 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 yeah. That you can't. It's kind of like hype music. You can relate when it comes to like getting turned in the club when you're drunk, but when it comes to like real lyricists, there's nothing you can relate to, especially with these young boys because they haven't been through anything.
Um, I have to say, I have to deny. I have to agree and disagree. So I feel like music gets better with age. Just be so like, for instance, um, let's just say Biggie. Say back in the day, probably people were sleeping on Biggie, this, that, other, da 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 da. Biggie has always been successful, but his is like I feel like that, his music really got better with age, especially now. Sounds like Biggie music is probably 20 some years old now, so it's so much. Am I connected still?
Yeah.
All right, so I feel like it's more. Now it's like timeless music, so I feel like sometimes music get better with age. I mean, me personally, I don't like today's rap, but you really don't know what we have until it's like 10 to 20 years later, and we be like, oh shit, we really did have some good ass music around this time. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I definitely agree.
So sometimes we don't know what we have until we it gets aged now. Sometimes with music.
So I got to talk about my girl, right?
Too.
Jasmine Sullivan. She won two
I love her.
Grammys for
About
Hotels.
time.
You know what I'm saying? They've been
It's
sleeping on
been
her
long
too. Y'all
overdue.
gonna give her credit and stop playing with her.
Jasmine Sullivan. That's another thing. Let's go back to what I was saying. When you look at, you have Lizzo, you have Missy Elliott, you have Jasmine Sullivan, you have people that's really been talented, should have been got their flowers a long time ago. But you have Jasmine Sullivan that's opposite what the industry is looking for. She's a colored, a black, a darker skin complexion, uh heavier set type of female that sings. So of course she was gonna get her flowers, this that, because she don't got the look or the image that people was looking for.
Yep. And it's a shame how they do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, like they try to imitate what look there is and what look there has to be, and like that peer pressure that you were talking about, like it's literally in everything. Um, which is why I want to talk about this next thing. So our first topic today is going to be love versus lust. Like, sometimes I question, like, do you love me or do you lust me? So I just want to talk about that. So the reason I came up with this topic um is because we've been finding ourselves like being in situations where it just only been a sexual type of thing, like a sexual. We only with them for the looks. We only with them because they got this
Oh,
or
oh,
because they
oh,
got
oh,
that.
oh, 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 I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just found this article. Can we go back to the Will Smith situation just for 1 second before we start? So this all that he has lost. It just popped up on my Facebook.
Okay.
So I did say that he was suspended for 10 years, right?
Uh-huh.
His biopic, they was working on a biopic for him, which is now canceled. Uh Bad Boy wait, Bad Boys 4, was that already out? Is that already out now?
Um,
Bad Boys 4? Yeah, that is. I don't know what they talk about with that. But the movie Fast and Loose movie that he was shooting for Netflix has been canceled. That's part of the two movies that he was working with Netflix was canceled. Um they was working on they was getting work on the I Am Legend 2 that no longer want to and offer the money. They trying to replace him with Michael B. Jordan.
mhm.
I don't know if Michael B. Jordan going to accept because of Will Smith, whatever. But yeah, um, He was expelled from the Academy of Science and Cinematic Arts. They said that they tried to say that he resigned, but he actually got fired from that. Of course, his wife. Oh yeah, I meant to say his wife didn't back him up at all.
Yeah, I heard.
His wife did not back him up at all. She said that she's a strong black lady that they don't need to get back up. So I said, oh wow, okay. Um, let me see, Chris Rock's brother. Look, okay,
Oh, Tony Rock. Yeah, his
yeah,
response.
Chris Rock,
Talking about, he
but that
talking about
was
some. Oh, it's more Rock Brothers than what you think. I'm like, oh, that's
yeah,
how Will should have handled it.
like yeah, he just made himself look so stupid. I mean, well, not say stupid, but yeah, I mean, yeah, stupid. As far as like, I know he looking back like I shouldn't have done that.
Right. I mean,
And let's not forget he was laughing at first before he smacked him. Let's
yeah.
not forget that, please. Okay, that's all I had to say. I'm
So,
sorry,
e-
I just found that.
so speaking of Will and Jada, like I feel like they have one of those. Do you love me or less me? Like I feel like we see that Will is the one that's in love, and it's clear. I don't know, but I think Jada is the one that was in lust. Like I seen an article today where she was like, um, I wish I'd have never met. I mean, I would have never married Will. She didn't really want to marry him. Um, so
Is that coming out
I
of her
don't
mouth or
know.
that was a okay?
No, it was just an article. I mean,
Oh
I'm
God.
mad at it, you know. But I guess the first topic is like, what does love have to do with it? Like any relationship, like businessship, friendship, familyship, relationship. What does love really have to do with the relationship? Because clearly, let's go off experience. You can be in love and not be happy. You cannot be respected, but you can still be in love.
Of course. You, unfortunately, it's at the time where you have to just wait it out and really just see. Because of course, everything's gonna be perfect at first, and then within time, you're definitely going to see uh really what's it about. I said after 6 months is after that 6 month period of being goo goo gaga type of thing. After that 6 months, you definitely start realizing stuff. Um, if it was love, if it was lust, is it worth it? You start realizing everything.
I definitely agree. When it comes to, I guess when it comes to lust, you really got to think about it. Like, why did you first? Why was you first interested in that person in the first place? Like,
Mm-mm.
was you really interested because you saw that person's heart, or was you interested because you was like, okay, this person look good, yada yada yada. I guess it all starts from the beginning because you know, and as you matriculate through that relationship, you should be able to think, okay, am I lusting over this person or do I love this person? Because honestly, that's what sets off a relationship to begin with. But I feel like a lot of people get that confused. Um, love versus lust because you can love somebody. Well, you can love you can love somebody, but that doesn't mean you love that person. If that makes sense, it just means that you want that person for their body and not for intentionally what you're supposed to want that person for. So
So I guess the next question is, what is lust? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is lust? Like, how
Something
do
so
we know?
successful. Uh,
So, like when we're in a relationship, how do we know like we're in a lustful relationship? Like how we know we're not in love that is really lust?
well, I mean, for one, your hormones. Everybody got hormones. Everybody got, everybody knows what that feeling is. So, whenever you get that feeling, you should everybody knows what makes their body ticks. Everybody know what, gets them to that certain point. And when it does, you should you should pretty much know like what lust is. If you don't know what lust is by now, even if you're not a sexually um even if you're not a sexually active person, or even if you don't even think about sex as, the normal, you still should know what lust is, because of the simple fact that you know how your body ticks, you know how your body works. If that person touches you and you just tremble, that's lust. That's lust, because that person is making your body feel some type of way. Or if every time you see this person, you fantasize them being in the bed with you, that's lust.
So, Danny, I guess my question for you is like, how would you handle a situation, let's say hypothetically speaking, or if you have been through this, um, how would you handle a situation when you're realizing that, or you have to question like, is this love or is this lust, on your part, or either you notice it on the other part, like, is this love this person showing me, or is this lust? Or even you, do I really love this person, or was I just sexually attracted to this person this entire time? Like, how do you think you can handle this for the people who are in those situations?
Uh, I really, so here's what I can say. Um, you just have to just like literally just look back and just really just see. I really don't know, because I feel like that sometimes we all struggle with that even after been through it more than one time. You just have to realize like certain things, like you just gotta know you know what you want out of love, and is that person showing it? And then if it's not sure, if you not realize, you just got to like tap out, or if you fight, you got to fight for it. Or if you don't feel like that is what you think love is, then maybe you need to second guess or question it, or maybe take a break and see if that what really really what it is. uh I do agree in certain aspects of what Keith was saying, but like if it's all about the sexual and y'all don't have nothing in common, or really nothing to talk about, or nothing like that, that could be a sign of lust, or a respect thing, or it's just, I don't know. You just got to understand what you want out of the relationship, what you want out of love, what you want out of a relationship. Period. If is it helping you? Is it helping you grow? Is it helping you to be a better person? I'm not saying that you don't have down days, but in all, is your list, is your if you do make a list, is the good outweighs the bad, or the bad outweighs the good? Of course, relationship want to go through stuff. Of course, relationship want to go through hell and back. But when you think of you, period, what you getting out of the relationship? Are you getting anything out of the relationship, or are you just getting a damn headache?
So, speaking of headaches, because I'm glad I asked you, because you just tied it right into um, what I needed you to tap into.
Oh Lord.
This next topic is your dream mate versus your soulmate.
Mm.
Um, and I guess that's where my headache used to come from, because and then someone said this topic, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that on our next podcast. So I don't like the term dream mate, how they used it, because a dream is something that happens only when you're asleep and when you're unconscious. A vision is something that you can see and that you can get to. So instead of calling them a dream mate, we're gonna call them our vision mate, because the whole goal is to try to get to that vision. So the first question is, how do I get my soulmate, or soulmate meaning the person I'm in a relationship now that I keep claiming I so love, because nothing really hit the fan. We all get like that in the beginning. So how do I get my soulmate to become my dream or my vision mate, the person I'm imagining in my head, the person that I want, the wife that I want, the husband, you know what I'm saying, the whatever your, whoever you imagine, the king or the queen, the children, the family, the provider that you want, whatever it is, like I'm asking you guys, how do I get the person I'm with now? And this is not me, I'm asking for the people, but how do I get my soulmate to become my dream or my vision mate?
You know what? You're gonna be disappointed.
Mm,
You gonna go in that. You gonna go in a relationship disappointed if you think
if I think what?
that you trying to get somebody to be your dream person. You
Mm,
gonna get disappointed,
why
and
you
your
say that?
relationship not gonna last.
Why you say that?
When you think about it, when you think of your dream or something you dream, you don't think about the hell that goes. All relationship go through hell and back. Period. And there's no skipping that. One. Okay. So when you think of your dream mate, or when you think of some, when people say I want a relationship, da 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 da, they don't think about the ugly. They don't think about the bad and the ugly that comes with it. So when the bad and ugly comes, it's already a fail. That's number one. Number two, you put in how did somebody say this to me? I forgot they have it. That kind of said it to me, but you're putting um expectations on a person. Then you're putting pretty much you put in expectations of what you want a person to be instead of what they're allowing them to for themselves to be to you. You get what I'm saying with that? Hello?
Sorry, I was double muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I can.
So why do you think it's so hard? And Keith, you could chime in on this one too. Why do you think it's so hard to find my dream or my soulmate? I mean, sorry, my dream or my vision mate. Like that person I keep a vision in my head. Like every time I try to date. Now this is for me personally. Every time I try to date, you know me, I'm a perfectionist, so I need everything to be up to par. Why is it so hard to get that person? Like it's every time I try to, and that stops me now from my dating. I don't date right now. And by the way, I do need to say this. We ask that everybody or viewers, if you can, um, any monetary or donations that you could give to our Cash App to support the Teen Dating Violence Awareness, our local chapter, and the Domestic Violence Foundation. All proceeds will go between these three organizations. And the Cash App is money sign the Bank of Dance. All right. And yeah, so again, I just like I don't know if my standards are too high or like how do I get this person? Because I turn everybody down. If you have one qualification off, it's a wrap for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to avoid it. If I don't see you respect me in the first 5 minutes, I don't need to be with you. If I already see the signs, because that's my whole thing. Like we see signs and then we just ignore them just because, like you said, we're in lust at that moment. We're we're captivated by something else other than what we just noticed and what we just seen. So like, why is it so hard?
Well, I mean, it's really not that hard. I think we I think we do too much petty stuff. Um, we sit down, we categorize what we want. We're so picky to the point where the littlest stipulation that we don't like, we just say, "Oh no, I don't want you. You do this too much. I don't want you." And it's really petty. It's really petty and it's really stupid at the same time because these little small issues can issues can be fixed. Now, if it's a big issue, like if it's a big like no, then that's understandable. If it's a big something like you can't stand when somebody uh talks with their mouth open or something like that, and this person always talks with their mouth open every time you eat. Like, if that's a big no for you, then that's understandable. But if it's something small, like somebody make a smart comment or something like that, and you're just like, oh
That
no,
was
I can't
small.
deal with the smart comments, or if it's something little, if it's something real little, like, um, this person wore a mixed match shirt and pants yesterday, and you didn't like the style that that person wear yesterday, something little like that. We can't really be too petty on, because the simple fact, like, that's little stuff that can be talked about within a relationship, or fixed within the friendship. Like, that's little petty stuff that generally everybody nowadays try to do. You know how when females say, um oh, I don't, um every guy ain't ish, or, what I'm saying, like, how when women say that shit, and women say that because, in my opinion, women say that because they want to put stipulations on us men so much, to the point where they stay single for the rest of their life. And then they sit there and complain, oh, well, there's no good men out here. Like, there are good men out here. You just become too petty to the point where you don't want to deal with nobody. And that's not the men's fault. That's your fault, that you become too petty.
Y'all been talking this whole time. Could y'all hear me?
Yeah, well, I can hear you now.
Okay. What part I didn't hear?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
So I said, because I was talking this time, I thought somebody heard me.
Oh
So
no.
I think what was simple was when you said chewing with my mouth open, like that makes somebody mad. Like you have to get over that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's little stuff. But if you can't handle it, to each his own. But all I'm saying is even the Bible says that the race isn't given to the swift, but the one who can endure to the end. So, like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna have to go through some stuff. We're gonna have to fight through some things. Even relationships and marriages that done happened in 15 years and 20 years now, like they're still prospering for a reason. So, I mean, and I guess it brings me to my next question. How do I know? And by the way, these are some of these are questions that the viewers wanted to know from the last show. So, how do I know if I settled for a soulmate and not my soulmate? Now, Danny, you know you got to take this one. Let me repeat it again so the viewers can understand what I said. How do I know if I settled for a soulmate and not my soulmate?
I mean, you it's go back to what I was saying like earlier. At the end of the day, you have to recognize who you are as a first of all. You can't sit here and make nobody else happy unless you happy yourself. So you have to recognize who you are, recognize your self-worth, recognize what you're going to take and not take from anybody. You know what I'm saying? Um and I always say, don't ever compromise your happiness. You can
Uh,
compromise a whole lot of stuff, but one thing that you can't compromise is your happiness. Okay.
but more so, like, how do you know, like, what? How do you know in that relationship? Like,
Yeah. I'm gonna get.
I'm sorry.
I was heading to that, and so you have to recognize who you are first,
Hmm.
right? And then once you get into a relationship, um, at first, things gonna start going good, and and of course, of course, our relationship has its problems. There's no escaping that. But when you start realizing that, the things that you shouldn't be compromising, like, disrespect frequently, or, you know, uh cheating, or whatever is your breaking point, and they keep on doing it, and then you start, if you keep talking to them, they do it anyway, 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 and then when you start feeling depressed in a relationship, or feeling your self-esteem gets low stuff, that's not love. Okay. um that's not something that, anybody would say, oh, I want, or you you should love is not depressment. Love is not, you don't want to be around, it's good point, you don't want to be around that person, and you feel peace. If you start feeling peace when that person away, rather than be together, that says a lot. And it's the fact that you have no more energy, and then you get to the point of where you don't have no more energy to fight, you don't have no more energy to move on. Like, you have to really look at that. Now, that's just everybody. I can't say that I can give a specific answer, because everybody have different answers when it comes down to that. So there's no one answer to that question, because everybody has different outlooks on that. But that's just, I think that's a casual thing that everybody pretty much can probably agree to.
So, okay. Well, I guess this brings us to our third topic, which is our main topic, looking for love in all the wrong places. So I'm definitely going to take the first question. The first question was asked, they said, well, Ronnie, what is love? Love to me is reciprocation. Love is, yeah, simply that. Um, if I respect you, you respect me. If I'm weak in this area, I need, you know what I'm saying? You should be, you more so. Let me use this analogy. It's like a give and take for on both parts. I give something to you, you take it. Now you give something to me, and I take it. Now, whatever we give to each other is the one thing I'm asking from you. I can have, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, your breaking points. So I guess what love, even if it's with your family, even if it's with your friendship, a business ship, it's when any agreement that you come on, even in a proposal, I'm asking for this. Now, can you give me this? Normally, in a negotiation, they will say yes, only if you can give me this and I can give you that. You see what I'm saying? That's a successful relationship, which ties into love. I feel like love is the emotion. Um, but here's the thing about love. This is the bad side. Just because you love me, that does not mean that you respect me.
Mm,
You know, just because you love me, that does not mean that you won't hurt me.
mm,
So that's what love is. Love is, I love to tell people this. Like, oh, we're in love. I'm saying, baby, love is like a switch. It takes one incident that will get you fed up, that will make that whole thing, I'm in so love, boo boo, puppy love that you was feeling, it will make you hate that person. It all it takes is one incident. It's gonna take a couple of incidents to get you to that point. But once that is once that switch is off, it's off. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think love is. What about you?
me or Key?
Either one.
Okay, well, I'll go first. What do I think love is? Um, Love is understanding. Um, love is communication. Um, love is many different things, but it shouldn't be mistaken nor dismissed. Um, the one thing that I can say about love is that No matter how many times you get into an argument with this person or that person, or no matter how many times you may feel like you hate this person or that person, if you always come back and it's a good type of vibe, then that's love. Now I do agree that just because you love somebody doesn't mean you respect that person. Um, I do agree with that because there's some instances where people they love each other but don't know how to respect each other when it comes to whether it's in private or in front of guests or in front of people. So when it comes to that, um I guess you can say there's a very thin line between love and hate, um, which also conflicts with respect as well too, because you can't say you love somebody without respecting them. That kind of just doesn't make sense. Like if you don't respect them, that means you don't love them. That just kind of means you tolerating the person. That's not even love itself. That's not even love itself. Love is respecting the person's opinions, facts, and um accepting that person in everything that they do. Um, you can't put a stipulation on love.
Okay, that was a long, but very detailed. I like your analogy on that one. So I guess
And
Keith, you can start off since well, we can lead into that. Um, because even when you started off by understanding, um, so if you understand what love is, now how do I break the cycle? Because for some reason, this is my fourth relationship and it has failed. I need to understand what I'm doing. The people need to understand what they're doing. Like, help us, help us out. Or Danny, since you are relationship oriented as
child.
well at this point.
It's not about if you're doing something wrong, they doing something wrong. I mean, yes, reflect of of what happened, but you gotta take it as is. Sometimes y'all it's not meant to be, and people think that just because that relationship didn't work out, that I'm not meant for a big relationship. No, especially you gotta realize we all in our 20s here. One, so we haven't have yet to even experience what love is. You know what I'm saying? I remember my grandma was telling me like, baby, y'all over here breaking up with little stuff. Which back in the day, I realized because in her time, I know a couple of people that said that husband stepped out, had a baby on them, and they still together today as they speak, and they work on their 50-year anniversary. So it's just like you just got to know what can you put up with, and then also, and it was so crazy because we look at Rashida and Kurt marriage. All right, people will say that she done for sick with him, da 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 da. It's crazy because you don't know what he did behind the scenes to make
Exactly.
her. But you know what I'm saying? It's all about you're going to go through that time. You're going to go through it. But however, and I'm pretty sure Rashida told him to get the fuck out the house, or I'm pretty sure that they talk about divorce and this, that, and the other. Y'all go through that. I'm going through a situation now that I don't even know right now if I'm done or this is a break or whatever. I don't care. I'm not thinking about right now. All I'm thinking about right now, and everybody go through it, is a me phase. Right now, it's all about me. I have been hurt. I done got tired. I done got you know. I need time to just breathe for a second, because if I don't breathe, somebody's gonna die. Seriously, you get what I'm saying? But
Okay.
Somebody gonna do.
I'm
Somebody.
just I need a time to just breathe I'm not worrying about if we're gonna get back together. I'm not worrying about if we're not getting back together. That's not my mind right now. What's on my mind is that I need to get mentally together so I can continue to move on. So if I don't get back, okay, I won't sit here and put blame on everybody else because what this person did. Or if I do decide to go back, I want to sit here and continue to beat this person up because what he did in the past. You get what I'm saying? I feel like everybody just
Absolutely.
need that time to just to breathe for a second. And so that's exactly what I'm going through. And I think everybody goes through that. And so it's everybody has their time to where, and it's so easy to judge a person on the outside looking in of what they're going through, but you never don't. I always say this: you never know, you don't know what you situation with love. And so it's not about what you did wrong, and it's not about what that person that did wrong. It's about what you're willing to put up with. Is that person willing to fight for, you know? And if it's not, then you know you know if you have more fight left in you or not. You just know for that person. So just because you've been through 4 relationships and none of them never worked, because you didn't feel like it was worth fighting for. You just can't tell yourself, hey, you need to fight. You have that. Even if you have to go deep, deep, deep down, you just have that. You have that gut to go deep down to fight for it. And hey, sometimes people come back in your life after a year. You just never know. You just can't say, oh, it's me, 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 me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we all play a part. But only thing I can tell is that blame yourself, reflect, and move on.
Exactly. I love that you said that because we got to stop taking blame. I mean, stop pointing fingers and start taking blame. Because we always say, well, she cheated or he cheated. He hit me. He did this. He slept with my best friend. He, did X, Y, and Z, but you stayed with him. You you know what I'm saying? You dealt with him. You dealt with her. That's your problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be upset because you made the wrong decision. And now, you know what I'm saying? Now you want to point the finger at everybody else and point the finger at this person and that person. And oh, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying they wasn't wrong. They have every right to, you know what I'm saying? Um every right, what I'm saying, to feel how they feel or to do what they do. You can't control anybody. I remember one fake individual told me one day, and it just blessed my heart because it made me realize about how people can be in this world. They said, I don't owe you loyalty. I don't owe you anything.
Ooh,
And this is one of my
Bernard.
closest.
I'm sorry. Wait.
And there we have it. So
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, and it's like
Like,
I'm
telling the
gonna
truth
keep
though, that was
I'm
the truth telling.
yeah,
Told
like
nothing but truth in that
that's
one.
all we do. Danny, do the people want to know information? Let me stop.
Probably not, but no, it's just like, but I'm not saying that was wrong information. No, nobody don't owe you nothing. And I've been told that a long time ago. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody owe you a goddamn thing, but yourself.
and that's the
And that's the
only
truth.
thing
And he didn't say
that's.
nothing wrong with that. There was nothing wrong that he
Now hold
said.
on now. No, 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 no. It is no. I mean, okay, if you think about it, yeah, he is right.
Right.
Now
I'm not saying as far
I know,
as
I know.
yeah.
I feel as though, and this is just me. This is everything your perception. So if he feels as though he don't, oh, he can turn on his best friend, his family members, and the only people he got, he can bite the hand that feed him. That's on him. All I'm saying is, me personally, how Ronnie Suavé, you know what I'm saying, how Ronnie does it. If I rock with you, if I say you're my friend, if you're my brother, you're my sister, that's what you are. I look at you just like your family. I don't call everybody my brother and my sister and my best friend and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, People come and go, but it's the ones that's still there, which makes it a good outcome for longevity. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I guess how do I look for love in all the right places? Because clearly, you know what I'm saying, my best friend didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know how I'm supposed to look for the right places because I'm like, dang, I can't let my best friend come around. And I can't search for love. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they cheating on their own. Like, they don't gotta be my best friend. Like, are they cheating? Like, are they being faithful? Are they entertaining other guys? Are they like, what is going on? Like, how do I know I'm in the right area in my life? For one, for me to even to start dating. Two, how do I know that I'm looking for love in the right places?
You're not gonna know, and once you find that answer, give it here. Nobody's not gonna know, Suave. You just got it's the chance that everybody's have to willing to take because you might feel like I, my cousin went through this, and let me say something. I'm not put too much of her business out there. I hope she's not really watching because she if I don't even know I know this, but anywho, it was a situation where my older cousin she dated a pastor
Ooh,
and been together for what 20 plus years, 2 kids and everything. Next thing she knew, he left her for another woman. Woke up one day, left her for another woman. So you
that's
can never
gone.
know. Yeah, you just never know. It's a win that you have to take that chance. And if somebody decides to get up, leave you one day, you have to find even though it hurts, you have to find the strength. You got to keep on. You got to be okay. Just move on. Continue just to move on, and not to just give up.
And
And that can't
I,
break.
that's me. I'm that person. I'm that person that's hurt. I'm that person that said I don't want to do it no more. I'm that person that said it's too much for me. I don't want to date. I don't want to go back to the dating world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got my individuals who I text, but no, I'm okay with taking it further. Unless you can give me a baby, is nothing really we can push forward. You know, I love the idea of a relationship. I'm very relationship oriented. I know what I'm worth. You know what I'm saying? I know what I can provide for a relationship. I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm husband material. I'm not settling for less. Period. Like it's over for that. It's done. I done tried to do it. I done gave everything and all, and I received the back, the short end, the dirty end, every end of the stick, but the right part. I ain't gonna say what I was about to say. So, but I would say the long one, but I ain't gonna say that.
Okay.
You know. So yeah. So I guess for our people out there, for our teens that's watching, I know some of y'all tuned in. Um, for the individuals who have been looking for love in the wrong places. So first, you got to realize, is this love or is this lust? Like, do you love me or do you lust me? For one, if you even have to question that, that should already let you know. Bam. Two, um, your dream mate or your vision mate versus your soulmate. You can't compare your fantasy from reality. If that's the case, you should have went the fantasy route this entire time. You can't just want to date. You can't just fantasize in your dating area, but then slack in your financial area. You want to fantasize you're wealthy, but you're dating people that don't deserve you. You're dating people who one got felons, got warrants, got and not trying to. It's not about it now. It's one thing if you make a mistake. But it's another thing if you're not trying to do anything to try to make it better, to try to get yourself out the hole. It's definitely gonna be hard for you to come out of jail or for you to come out of a relationship, come out of anything. It's all about the bounce back. Um, so that's what you should do. It's all about your bounce back. Once you realize that, okay, this is my soulmate, or this is a soulmate. I don't think it's my soulmate. Um, you need to figure out for one, you need to let that person know this is what I'm looking for. See if this person is even willing, because for one, we can't change nobody. We got to let you they're going to have to change for themselves. If they really love you, they would do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Reciprocation. I'm asking you for this, can you give me this? In return, I will give you what you asked for. So you got to understand, I'm not saying lower your standards, but don't settle for less either. The third topic, we got to stop looking for love in the wrong places. Once we understand, or once we question, is this love or lust, then we realize that, okay, this is a soulmate and not the dream mate that I envisioned. we have to realize what type of place that we're in. We're in a place that can lead us into depression. It's a place that can get us to where we got to act out of character, where and we do things that we never did before. And then, you know how they say once you have sex with a person, you carry that person's spirit. I ain't gonna say too much, or I'm talking about a person in specific, but I have a friend and they make me a little nervous because ever since this relationship, they just been a little free, and they wasn't like that. They was very content and contained, and but now it's just like to hell with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh my god, but I understand because I was just there. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm doing podcasts like these with my brothers, not for me only. Yes, it started off for me. That's why I said, y'all let me vent, because I needed some way to release this pain instead of reacting. Um, and Danny has helped me through this. Keith has helped me through this same situation that we're talking about. It all started with the best friend. Now we're migrating to social awareness because heartbreak is um a mental disorder. Like it definitely plays a part. Um, Danny, am I lying? If you heartbroken, won't you do some stuff? Speaker or no? Okay.
Okay, but I throw it.
Dead.
Okay.
But I throw it
Okay.
right
Dead.
on that head.
So
I hope he's listening too. Gotta do it again.
you know what?
Oh
Okay.
my god.
And so we're gonna move along. Leave, get out. Okay. Help me, help me. Okay,
Oh
I'm done. I'm done.
Jesus.
I'm done. I'm
Oh
done.
Jesus.
Insider. So yeah, so now you didn't realize you're looking for love in all the wrong places. I need you all to stay tuned because next week we're gonna jump into part two of sorry, not next week, the week after next, we're gonna jump into part two of Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. So this is Ronnie Suave, Danny H Vibes, and simply underscore KJ. And y'all, let me vent. I'll see y'all 2 weeks from now. Have a wonderful day.